So we are in a full dystopia at this point in time. Yesterday, I already told you, Donald Trump went to the Rose Garden. He gave an authoritarian nightmare of a speech where he says he will fight governors by deploying the military to enforce the law in their states. The legal fight is Posse Comitatus Act versus Insurrection Act. We've already talked about that. Certainly at its face, the idea that we need to fight protests about law enforcement using too much force by scaling up the amount of force used by law enforcement, that's crazy. We've already talked about that. But then we get into the propaganda of this. Donald Trump had protesters tear gassed and dispersed with horses to clear the way for Donald Trump to walk to St. John's Church in Washington, D.C., and be photographed holding up a Bible. He was asked, Mr. President, is that your Bible? And he said, it is a Bible. Of course, it's not Trump's Bible. Trump is not religious. This is merely pandering. In front of the church, this was done in a completely just sickening, obvious, brazen attempt to propagandize. But in order to get over there, here is video of the protesters. And here you will hear the bangs going off. You will see the gas start to rise. Hey, he takes the propaganda seriously for sure. Here are members of the press being shooed away as Donald Trump walks over to the cathedral.
Press, let's go. Press, let's go. Come on. Guys, we gotta go. Go to the right. Go to the right.
And then here's an overhead view of the entire crowd being aggressively dispersed, including with tear gas, because the leader, Trump, must get to the church to hold someone's Bible, bringing out the horses. You're going to hear some of the flashbangs at the start of this video. And so then here is Donald Trump calling over his press secretary and a couple of others and standing there. And sort of at some point, Trump says, OK, the propaganda event is over. And this is one of the most awkward video clips I've seen in a long time.
Much. We have the greatest country in the world. Thank you very much, everybody. We're going to keep it nice and safe.
So everybody there in that photo op, people who should be unemployed come January if we do our job in November. Now, by the way, just one other thing from earlier. Here was Trump's Rose Garden statement just minutes before walking over to St. John's, having protesters tear gassed and dispersed with horses. You can hear explosions going on in the background while Trump is speaking.
He will not have died in vain, but we cannot allow the righteous cries of peaceful protesters to be drowned out by an angry mob, the biggest victims of the riot.
That is not thunder you are hearing, my friends. Those are flashbangs going off to disperse protesters in advance of Trump walking over to St. John's Cathedral. This is where we are. It's incredible how far we have fallen since that horrible day in November of 2016. And I've been talking about hyper-normalization. I've been talking about desensitization. It happens a little bit at a time. But now when you go back and think of that day when Donald Trump was inaugurated, we have fallen so far. Now, if you need a reminder of how not religious Trump is, if you needed a reminder of how the Bible and the church are just props for the president, remember this video from the campaign where Donald Trump making it abundantly clear he doesn't know a damn thing about the Bible. He doesn't care about the Bible.
Okay. You mentioned the Bible. You've been talking about how it's your favorite book. And you said, I think last night in Iowa, some people are surprised that you say that. I'm wondering what one or two of your most favored Bible verses are and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it because to me that's very personal. You know, when I talk about the Bible, it's very personal. So I don't want to get into verses. I don't want to get into.
There's no verse that means a lot to you that you think about or cite?
The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics.
Even to cite a verse that
no,
you like?
No, I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal. I think it's just an incredible. The whole Bible is an incredible. I joke. Very much so. They always hold up the Art of the Deal. I say my second favorite book of all time. But I just think the Bible is just something very special.
This has to stop. This has to stop for our sake. It has to stop for the world's sake. It has to stop for our future's sake. Trump doesn't even attend church. It's not even his Bible. Aggressively and violently dispersing peaceful protesters with horses and flashbangs and tear gas so that he could hold up someone's Bible and take advantage of just a disgusting, I mean, this is like Soviet style, North Korea style propaganda that Donald Trump is brazenly crafting in front of our very eyes. And we have to end it. We have to end it. Let me know your thoughts about all of this. I'm on Twitter at @DPakman. Thrilled to see more and more folks listening to the daily audio podcast of the show. If you watch on YouTube, you may not know that you can go on iTunes or Stitcher or Google Play Podcast, whatever you want, and get our daily audio podcast. Do it. It's a great way to consume the show in addition to the YouTube clips. Let me know your thoughts about this propaganda on Twitter at @DPakman, and we'll be right back.